A few centuries ago, the little bluestem was one of the native grasses that populated a vast expanse of the North American continent. However, in this modern day, today, its population has reduced substantially. So I decided to devote a small part of my garden to growing this native grass. So the little bluestem does not have really much food value directly for humans, but it does have ecological benefits with benefiting wildlife, food for birds, and shelter for nest building materials. And it's also useful for helping to prevent or control soil erosion and cycling carbon back into the soil. So I find that this grass can be of quite a bit of benefit to enhance the overall health of the whole garden, of the landscape, right? Even though it's not directly edible necessarily for me. Now, germination of the little bluestem seed can be pretty tricky, right? Germination rates can usually be pretty low, but what I'm doing this year is I have planted these seeds out in late January, early February, so that these seeds can have a chance to cold stratify, right? And biochemical processes can happen in those seeds to help break their dormancy, so that hopefully maybe I can get a better germination rate than what I might get if I don't stratify them. So I don't know, we'll kind of see how this goes, and I'll probably give another video in the future documenting how this works out, if it works out, because I've never grown this plant before, but I am growing it now, so it's an awesome opportunity to be able to learn and to be able to gain experience with this plant. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to plant this native grass. This is the little bluestem grass. So what I've done is I have kind of cleared out an area here of some of the other naturally occurring grasses, and then there's a little black cherry sapling here too. And so right to the southwest edge of the tree is where I'm going to plant this bluestem grass. So this is in the garden, right? So this tree is, going to prune it, and so it doesn't get really big and shady or anything like that. So I'm trying to incorporate these native grasses so that they can provide more habitat and food source for birds, and some naturally occurring ground beetles and things of that nature as well. Because as I continue to progress in my gardening and knowledge of it, those birds and those insects really are fundamental to a lot of aspects of pest control, and so you have to be able to provide a food source and habitat. So it seems like the bluestem grass is not the most efficient germinator, so I am sowing this out in February 3rd. We've had a mild winter so far, and so I'm going to try to cold stratify these seeds using the natural outdoor temperatures. So here's a look at the seeds. Alright, so I just sprinkled them on the soil surface. I'm just going to kind of work them in kind of lightly with a little garden fork. So I don't want to bury the seeds too deeply, right? Just in case that would inhibit sprouting or germination. I don't want them to be right on the surface either. Birds can pick them up and eat them. They might do that anyway, but at least a good number of these might survive that and be able to sprout. And I'm just going to kind of lightly cover with like a detritus. Just to kind of help cover, kind of disguise the seeds a little bit. So this grass is a perennial. It's hardy up into the northern climates as well, all the way up to like zone 3 or so. Alright, so the seeds of this little blue stem grass that I got, I purchased them from Prairie Moon Nursery online. They have a very nice website of a whole big selection of different kinds of native plants, you know, I don't get any funding or any kickback from them at all, but they're a really great resource to use for any gardener, especially any gardener who's looking to grow more native plants and incorporate those into their local landscape. It's just that with a lot of these native plants, germination of different types of plants can be kind of tricky. So you have to kind of do a little bit of digging, a little bit of research to understand how to properly germinate the seed of a certain type of native plant, right? You might have to scarify the seed coat of certain plants so that water can penetrate in, or you might have to cold stratify them a certain period of time so that the seeds can break their dormancy, right? And so just kind of things like that that you'll have to kind of keep in mind when beginning to grow some of these native plants. So anyway, the link to Prairie Moon is down in the show notes, so definitely feel free to check them out. So with that, thank you so much for checking out this video on the little blue stem grass. I look forward to seeing you in a future video. Take care.